to the flag
of the
of the United States of
of
America,
America,
and
to the
republic
for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty
liberty
and justice
for all.
for all.
for all.
All right, great. If I do say so myself, I think that was our best one yet, all together. That sounded great. We've had quite a bit of practice. All right, so next order of business is public comment. So at this time, I am going to open the floor for public comment. As always, we're going to follow the same procedure. So if there is anybody who would like to speak, please raise your hand. And then Devin will be able to unmute you for speaking at that point. So if you could just let us know if you'd like to add a comment at this time. Okay, I'm going to take that as a nod to move forward. And thank you to our attendees that are here tonight. So we're happy to have you. Next order of business is minutes. So for those voting members that are on the line with us tonight, we do have a quorum. We do have a couple people missing tonight, but we do have enough to complete a vote. So I'd like to get a motion to approve the attached July 15, 2020 minutes.
So move.
Zelen, motion. I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All right, unanimously approved. Thank you. Next item of business is correspondence. So the dates you have here that we just continually add the time period in between our meetings to that correspondence received. We did not receive any correspondence between the dates listed on our current agenda. We did receive 2 pieces of correspondence today. So those pieces will be included in our next agenda item or agenda packet to be reviewed. So I just wanted to let everybody know that we did receive that, but we'll move that on to our next meeting as well. Okay, so we're going to move right on to reports. At this time, first order of business is chair report. I think we're going to get to most of the details as far as progress in upcoming reports. So for me, just a few things. First of all, as Ellen mentioned, if we can get Kat just to say a few words as we welcome her back, her first meeting back with us. So Kat, you want to say hi?
Thank you. I can't believe it's been almost 4 months since, well, 3.5. But it's good to be back and, you know, look forward to getting caught up and up to speed and everything and happy to be back.
All right, great. Thank you. Yep, we're happy to have you, Kat. As I said, I think other than that, it's just an update in the additional reports moving forward. So I didn't have anything in addition at this time. So we're going to move right on to communications subcommittee report. Kathy, did you want to do that one or do you want me to take it? It's up to you.
I wasn't at the last meeting due to vacation, so.
Yep, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. There's some developments I think that we can share with everybody tonight, which I think are exciting. The first I'm going to talk about is the postcard that we had discussed at our previous meeting that was reviewed and discussed at the subcommunication meeting last week. And Devin here has up in front of you the postcard itself that was developed, reworded. A lot of comments from the communication subcommittee, which was great, and we were really kind of able to get a quick, concise message out to the community. I actually received mine today. I don't know if anybody else did, but it looks great. It's in the mail, just another way for us to communicate out and just let people know the status of the project, that we are moving forward, and that they can find additional information as they see fit. And where we are asking them to go is the website. So I think Devin can pull that up as well. You take a look. So one of the things we talked about as well at the last meeting and at the subcommittee meeting was kind of a revamp of the landing page of the website. And if you go out, this is live. So this is out there for everybody to review. So we had some great help from CSG and TSKP to really kind of pull pertinent information forward for people, make it easy for them to find, and a quick reference point. There's still all the information that we had on the website previously that is still out there for people to access, but this is really kind of a overview of everything that's important right now and that people can actually access. So a couple things, always our meeting information will be up front and center for people to access. Any kind of press, as you can see right there that Devin has up, the ability to communicate with us at the bottom so you can connect immediately with us to send a message or provide correspondence. So I think that shows an easy way for people, again, to communicate with us. And the schematic design is also posted. So we discussed that last time. This is the schematic design report as forwarded to us in its final state at the time that we went on to pause from TSKP. So that is there, and a discussion around the project pause in itself. So I think this was what our goal was, is really to consolidate the information, make it easy for people to navigate. And I think this landing page really does that for people, I hope. Certainly open to comments or thoughts around it, or things we can do better, as always. But that was really the bulk of the work I think the subcommittee wanted to get done and get moved forward. So I think we've made good progress on that. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything else around that.
Meg, I just wanted to share, I think it was a good collaborative with TSKP. We had meetings with Richard and Karam, and really pleased with the way that this came together.
Anybody else have anything addition or anything else they wanted to add, or questions or thoughts?
Megan, I didn't know if you heard my comments or not.
I did. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure they came through.
No,
I'm on the phone trying on a Zoom call. It's a little different. Thanks.
It's always good to check. There's plenty of times too. I do the same thing. Yeah, no, and I do agree with you, Mark. I think we could have done it certainly without CSG and TSKP kind of guiding us through this process and helping us with the overall design and making things happen on the site. I think it really does. It's a lot easier for people to find the information. So I think that's great. So we'll keep working on the website as we move forward, adding pertinent information, and really kind of making this the best tool it can be for the community as we kind of move through the process. Anything else communications-wise that anybody wants to add at this time? We do have another subcommittee meeting tomorrow, as well as a follow-up, just to make sure, see if there's anything else that we should be working on, or how we move that forward. Okay. We'll move on to Board of Education Liaison report. I do know, unfortunately, that Beth had another commitment tonight. So, Ellen, is there anything that you'd like to add at this time around this?
I don't really have anything,
Okay.
unless Kathy thinks I'm missing something.
I don't think there was anything that you guys were discussing that pertained to the building committee specifically. So
No.
I think that makes sense. There's plenty of other things on the plate right now. So.
And sorry, I know there's nothing I would add. I was trying to unmute.
All right, great. Town council liaison report, same thing. Unfortunately, Chris Fagan also, he's actually on vacation at this week, but town council did not meet this month. So we knew that going into our meeting, but we wanted to give us an opportunity to touch base in case there was additional information or anything we did know, you know, that we needed to provide in this meeting. But so I don't believe there's anything else in addition as far as town council is concerned that we needed to discuss moving forward. So that's certainly something that Chris can provide us updates on in our next meeting. State legislative update. Mark, anything that we need to know, anything new, additional information, anything we've heard?
No, nothing new. Business as usual with the state. And no, nothing changing in legislation that would help our project at this point.
Okay. Industry update. Richard, I'm going to throw that over to you to see additional information or anything else you want to provide.
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. So a couple of things. One, I talked to, when we met last time, I promised Michael Smith I would continue to research the industry status right now regarding bidding climate and costs to try to help answer the question, should we adjust our cost estimate in light of the pandemic? Is that a factor now in bidding? This is still a work in progress, Michael. I don't have anything concrete to give you, although one bit of anecdotal information, a direct experience that we had on a bid opening since the last time we had this committee meeting. We did have a bid opening on a not too large a project here in Hartford. It was a public project. It involved state and DOT money, and as well as city money. And I was expecting to see maybe 4 or 5 bidders show up for the bid. We ended up having 11 bidders, which I was quite startled at so many people turning out. But what I observed is that a lot of the bidders were not qualified to do this work. Some of the bidders, in fact, were not familiar with the public bidding process. They had been doing a lot of private sector work, specifically hospitality work and commercial work, and it seems like none of that work is going on right now. So those bidders are showing up, at least in my experience, at a public bid opening for a public project. So there is I think there's a real buyer's market. On the other hand, you have to be cautious about who these bidders are, because if their sector now is drying up in the marketplace, they're jumping in on whatever is out there. And there is work in the public sector. There's very little work in the private sector from my observation. So that's a little bit of an update. I will continue to research what's going on among my peers, see if I can't give the committee some more concrete information about what to expect. Again, to try to answer the question, should we be adjusting our cost estimate in light of the pandemic? The second item I wanted to report on is design and strategies related to the pandemic. We had hoped to include in tonight's meeting a report from our consulting engineers, Cola Ronan, who have been approached by quite a number of school districts to address their concerns about existing buildings and what they should do with their mechanical systems. And they did prepare quite a lengthy PowerPoint presentation, but when we saw it, I had a conversation with Mark Grilli earlier today, and I think the consensus between us was, whoa, this is so full of technical jargon, so full of information that it might actually cause some confusion as to what really needs to be done. So I'm going to suggest that we have a working session to try to turn all of that technical jargon into plain speak, plain English, so that members of the public can understand what are the strategies that are being taken right now as far as mechanical systems in schools, and then have a follow-up presentation with this full committee. So I'm sorry I couldn't have Colaron in here tonight, but I think it probably would have added more confusion.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. I would echo that too. I think just looking at all the information that's in there, some of it pertinent to new projects, some not. I think it makes sense for us to kind of dive through that information, especially since, just receiving it, that we spent a little time with a group to put that together. So I think that's a great suggestion.
And we'll go ahead, we can work with Kat too to get something on the calendar, to get something on, to really talk through level of detail and what I think is important for the committee to see and how we can apply that to our discussions moving forward. So I think that's something we can definitely work on, Richard.
Right. Okay, great. So I don't want to alarm people. I mean, the bottom line is that Colaron believes that any of these new techniques, whether it's ultraviolet treatment of air passing through ductwork or whether it's using electrostatic, technology, adding a positive or negative charge to air, it's not that exotic. It's not something that would escalate the cost. It is a proven technology. It's just the presentation was so dense with technical engineering speak that I just wanted to simplify it. But the bottom line is I think Colaron believes that the kinds of techniques that they're experiencing in other projects is not significant. It's well within the budget that we had established for this project.
All right, great. Anything else for Richard or any other conversations, questions about industry updates? Still a lot of unknowns, I think, for everybody as we move through the process, which we knew coming into this. But I think we just keep staying connected, keep trying to learn more as we go. So that information is super helpful for us, Richard. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, if there's no other questions or comments around updates, we're going to move into new business. We do have one piece of new business that we need to discuss. Before we actually go into that, I was just going to bring Kat back on quick to give us just a quick verbal financial update, and then she will be able to provide us with a more detailed report on this. This is specific to the committee finances for our next meeting as we're trying to kind of round out and pull all that information together. So Kat, do you just want to do a quick update?
So the last time we had a financial report included in the agenda was February, and
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, you're super quiet.
Can you hear me now?
Same.
Sorry.
Is everybody else? Is it quiet for everybody else or just me?
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing as well.
Okay.
Let me try to call in.
Okay. Let's give her a second.
Megan,
Yeah.
it's Michael Smith. Do you need someone to raise a motion?
No, we're waiting. I wanted to do, Kat, just to give that quick financial
Okay.
update, but we're
Can
having.
you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. That was all I was, but thank you, Michael.
Sorry about that. I don't know why my computer audio didn't work. So the last financial update that we had for the committee on our committee finances was back in February. Since then, there haven't been many additional expenses. We have the Briarwood printing for the postcard that just went out, as well as the mailing. And then I did include the Center for Research and Public Policy and Tall Timbers Marketing approved finances, just so we have that in anticipated funds. So we have roughly $135,000 on hand. As Meg mentioned, I will put together the full report and really be able to dig deep into the finances just to make sure we have everything put together for the September meeting. But we look like we're in good shape.
Perfect. Thanks, Kat. Just gives us kind of a quick update before we go into the approval for the invoice. So why don't we go into that? Devin's got it here. It was included in your agenda packets, but he can pull it up in front of us as well. There it is. So can I get a motion to approve the attached invoice from Briarwood Printing in the amount of $1,198?
Make the motion. This is Sharon.
Second, John Carrier.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did we get everybody? I think we did. All opposed? All right, unanimously approved. As I said, did anybody else get the postcard today?
Yes,
Or-
I received it.
Oh, great.
Very nice.
Excellent. Devin did a great job on that. Thank you, Devin.
Thank you.
Okay, that was the only piece of new business we had. So, you know, as we kind of understood in this process, I know I appreciate everybody taking the time through the summer months for us to keep in contact, keep learning more. I'm assuming, you know, as of September, we'll see if there's any additional updates. We'll keep evaluating, you know, in person versus Zoom. Although at this point, I do believe we still are going to remain remote. I haven't tried anything else differently, so we will keep our schedule as such, which is monthly at this point. We can certainly revisit that at any time to see if we need to add meetings as we learn more. And hopefully we will have a town council update after the September meeting to see if there's anything in addition we would learn from that as well. So we'll keep moving forward. Again, adding information as we learn it. If you have concerns or questions, please, you know, feel free to forward them on to me. We can certainly put that on the agenda for a point of conversation. But at this point, I think that's everything we needed to cover, unless there's something that anybody else wanted to bring up right now. All right, excellent. So at this time, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Johnny.
Second, Sharon.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, and we will adjourn at 6:54.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you, Megan.
Thanks,
Very
Meg.
much.
everyone.
Thanks, Megan.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Stay safe.
Bye.